if you have free choice, then you have the opportunity to choose between right and wrong, you pass the test, and you go up a level. But on the other hand, if you don't have free choice, then what happens? Scenario. I'm going to kill that person. Suddenly, God appears before me and says, what are you doing there? And I'm like, no, I wasn't going to kill him. I was going to hang with him. You got it all wrong. Why? Because God's there. You don't want to have a problem. But as long as you don't think God's there, well, then you can have doubt and then you can exercise free choice. So we know now that for God to appear openly, he cannot do. And this is actually a question that has plagued man from the beginning. Moshe Rabbeinu went over to God. Now remember, we know that most anyone has never had a face-to-face encounter with God except for Moshe Rabbeinu, who was the greatest prophet that ever lived. So the question is, what did he ask HaKadosh Baruch Hu? When he finally sees him, he could have asked him anything. And yet what he says to him is, show me thy face. Show me thy glory. And God responds by saying, listen, no one can see my face and live. But if you hide behind the rock, I'll pass my glory before you, and you can see the back of my head. And that has a very allegorical meaning that he was really talking about why the bad things happen in the world. And he says, well, you can't see me in the present, but rather in the back, behind. In retrospect, you can understand. And so, I'd like to suggest to you, friends, that I believe that after the things I'm going to tell you in the next 5 minutes, you're going to realize that all of you have seen God, but you never knew it. So much so that it just sprung me this morning. I heard a story of a guy. He was very poor his whole life, didn't live well. He died. Family was throwing out all the stuff. They found an old painting on the wall. Someone took it in appraiser, $3.5 million. So someone said, you know, it's so funny. The guy lived his whole life. He was a millionaire, but he never knew it. So then what good was it? How would you like to guess that right in front of your very eyes, there are things happening that you never even occurred to you? Like, wow, that's cool. I did not realize that. I'm going to show you some examples that blew me out of the park. 9/11. On 9/11, now there's a lot of stories like this, but I'm going to focus on one that I heard about that I knew to be true. A guy leaves his tefillin. He was in San Francisco or LA, I think it was San Francisco. He leaves his tefillin in the lounge. Gets on the plane, they pull out. He's like, oh my God, I left my tefillin. No, you can't. Once we pull out, it's a federal law. See, I'm getting off the thing. She says, if you get off, I'll take my chances. He gets off. That plane, unfortunately, goes into the building. Now, no, I'm not going to tell you that if you put on tefillin, that's not going to happen. I'm not saying that, but I'm really suggesting that at the time that happened, the guy was very angry. God, I'm trying to serve you, and this is how I get repaid by not getting back on the plane? What happens? He's sitting there the next day going, God, thank you so much for what I didn't even realize was a miracle. But of course, I realized that you can't do it openly. Next story. Guy goes, Mr. Azar, he goes to Memphis about 15 years ago. It's the craziest story ever. And he's a salesman. He's got a big fabric company. So he tries desperately to sell his fabric to this guy. And then the purchaser, unfortunately, is keeping him waiting a long time. He's like, you know, I really have to leave. You don't understand. I have Shabbos. I'm not from this area. And I have... Meanwhile, he gets back to Memphis, and the hotel tells him, listen, all the kosher food is sold out. We have no room for you. He's like, are you kidding me? I didn't even get the sale, and now I'm so upset. You know what? I'm going to stay across the street. I don't even care if they have kosher food. I'm not going to eat anything anyway. I'll just stay in a nice hotel room. That way, at least my Shabbos won't be completely ruined. So he goes inside, takes a shower, goes inside the closet, opens it up, and he sees challah, kosher food. He doesn't know what's going on. Completely freaks out, but he's hungry. He eats it, he forgets about it. He thinks it's the craziest thing that ever happened to him. A couple of months later, he's at a party in Deal, New Jersey, and he's talking to some guys. And one of the guys says, you know, appendicitis was insane. Remember we were in that hotel in Memphis and we ordered all that? He said, what are you talking about? Oh yeah, no, I had appendicitis. We had an emergency. It was before Shabbos. We didn't want to use the hotel room. We ordered all this food. We took off to... I ate your food. I was the one that went to that hotel room. What are the chances that would happen? Now, God made the miracle months before, but now that he finally saw it after the fact, oh, now it's a miracle. You weren't looking before because you didn't know to look before. Another story. That one's crazy. My mother-in-law, she works in a mikvah. You all know what that is? It's a place to go to. It's a ritual bath where women go, and some men go to as well, for, let's say, let's say, spiritual cleansing. But anyway, my mother-in-law works there, and this lady walks in with two non-observant girls. And they go inside the thing, and my mother-in-law doesn't say anything, but it's not often that you see someone who's not observant using the mikvah. Though more and more people are doing it, they're finding out about that great mitzvah. Well, what happens is she looks at my mother-in-law and says, "You're wondering why I'm in here with these girls, right?" She says, "I'm not judging you, but it's a little..." She said, "Listen, I was in the Holocaust, 30 years ago, and they killed my twin daughters. And unfortunately, there was nothing we could do about it. I lived with my husband in the forest, we hid from the Nazis, but we couldn't be together because I wasn't spiritually clean, blah, blah, blah. After everything was freed, I went to a mikvah and I said, God, please give me my daughters back. And these are my daughters." She got twin daughters again. So to this woman, it's so obvious that God answered her prayers. She has a backstory. She saw God actually answer her prayers. Doesn't mean that you're going to see that in your lifetime, but it does exist. You can't deny that God has appeared to someone for one reason or another. Now,